Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And I have with me today one of the top wide receivers in all the FCS that everyone really needs to know. His name is Hayden Hatten, and he is out of Idaho. Nice to meet you, buddy.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, very successful in the Big Sky. You yourself, All-American last year, and fixing to have one more solid season and set yourself up here soon for the NFL. We'll get to talking about your story. Go ahead and start us out. Tell us where you're from and walk us through that journey just a tad.
Yeah, hi. My name is Hayden Hatten. I'm originally from Phoenix, Arizona. I went to Saguaro High School and then was blessed and lucky enough to be able to come to the University of Idaho and play wide receiver. I have a twin brother who plays football with me here as well, which is pretty sweet, and a cousin who plays basketball on the basketball team. So it's a whole Hatten affair at the University of Idaho.
Interesting. You guys you get mistaken for one another like all the time, I would imagine, right?
Oh, all the time, and it's fantastic. I mean, we take no offense to it. I get called Hogan all the time. We could care less.
It's like, hey, get out there and it's your turn. I mean, you're in the set. I mean, that would really mess somebody up. But
Yeah, every year we'll get a freshman or somebody who comes in and they're like, "Dude, I thought you just played both ways." Because my brother played defense the last like 2 years. They're like, "Wait, we just thought you were going back and forth." I'm like, "Nope,
hey,
that's what."
why not? I mean, he's a versatile guy. Like, you don't know. Cool. Well, Hayden, let's get to talking more about your story. I mean, again, a guy from Arizona, Saguaro High School. When I was doing a dive into Saguaro High School, I found out that you played with some good talent there, man. I mean, it really was no joke. I mean, you guys had a great team there in high school. Specifically, the one name that came up was Keely Ringo, who was recently drafted by the Eagles. Talk to us about your high school days.
Yeah, high school was absolutely fantastic. Had a blast. Was surrounded by a lot of talent. I originally attended Pinnacle High School, where Spencer Rattler was the quarterback,
Nice.
and then JD Johnson was a quarterback behind him. So we had a couple great quarterbacks there as well. I left the Saguaro my senior year, so I got 1 year with like Keely Ringo and Nate Polk and people like that who went and played a high level football as well. And Keely and I are good buddies. We used to go back and forth at it all the time, and it was definitely an iron sharpens iron kind of mentality when we were ever on the field. Neither of us wanted to lose. Two competitive guys.
No, I get you. It's kind of nice, starting things out with your, football journey and playing against tough competition. How long have you been playing this game of football?
I've been playing ever since I was like third grade was my first year and it was tackle football. I never played flag.
Mm.
I was always I mean, when you're like in third grade, you can't really hurt each other anyways. That's like the time to learn to play football. It's like you're not big enough to really crack anybody. So I think that definitely got me comfortable with football, and then I just absolutely fell in love with the game. Growing up, I played football, basketball, and baseball my entire life, and wasn't sure which one I wanted to play in college, if that was even on the table for me. But I had my mindset when I hit my sophomore year, and my dad's a big 6'7" guy, and I didn't grow to his height, and I was like, that's it. Basketball's probably not gonna be your strength. So about sophomore year of high school, I was like, that's it. Like football's my passion. This is where I can excel, and your body chooses your sport almost more than anything.
Yes, sometimes. I mean, there is a rarity in the NBA of guys your size, but it does happen. You need to be a phenomenal athlete. I mean, but again, like you said, your size kind of dictated, what you were gonna do, what you were gonna play. Have you always been a wide receiver when you're talking about football?
And well, so growing up, I was like the big tight end, right? But this is when I was younger, and then when I hit about seventh, eighth grade, I transitioned to full receiver, and then my freshman and sophomore year of high school, I was playing receiver. Um, and I was lucky enough to play varsity, and it was kind of itch where it scratches situation. I was playing more traditionally outside, um, and rather than like slot. And then my junior year, they really moved me around a lot. I was playing slot outside, a little bit of the wing, um, and that really helped with my recruitment. And I think that's why I got recruited as a tight end into college. So I was recruited as a tight end, put on a lot of weight to try to fit the build. And I'm a hardworking kid that just all I wanted was an opportunity to get on the field with somebody somewhere and show what I can do. And so when the University of Idaho called my brother and I and offered us both positions, we were very excited, and we took it. That was later in the recruiting process. We were committed to Brown at first, and then transitioned. The coaching staff got let go at Brown, and we got the opportunity to go to Idaho. So we jumped bandwagon to the University of Idaho, and it's just been an absolute blessing. And played tight end my freshman year, and then with like 2 games left, we had a wide receiver go down, and I wasn't playing a traditional tight end. I was playing like the second tight end who is running routes and is more
Sure.
not as hand down. And Coach Petrino, who was the coach here at the time, was like, let's throw Hatten at the X, see what he can do. And my first game was back home against NAU, who was a team I really wanted to beat because I live close to there. And I went there and scored 2 touchdowns and had a great game and never gave the position back. Lost all the weight and moved back to wide receiver.
Cool. So, what's your current height and weight these days?
6'2", 205.
So again, back to wide receiver type body, and again, a guy who is not really a tight end. I mean, even when you were a tight end, man, you were still a wide receiver. So
Yeah, even when I was a tight end, I would go in there for 30 plays a game and only run routes.
right. Let's just be real about that. Cool. So talk about Idaho for people that have never stepped foot on that campus. What makes that place so special for you?
Well, first it's the family values that come here. Having my brother and my cousin here, and our families, we grew up in different areas, my cousin and I, and our families just have never been tighter. They come to every single football game, every basketball game, and home and away for football, and it's an absolute blessing. I have great parents who support my brother and I, and just the University of Idaho is such a special place. It's hard to explain. Growing up in such a big area, Phoenix is a large city. Coming to the University of Idaho with a population of 25,000 people in Moscow, I wasn't sure how I'd transition to it. And then it just made me realize, I'm like, wow, these people they're so nice, they're so kind, everybody's so giving here, and everything that I do back home in Arizona, I do here. I go work out every day. I do school, and then I play golf after if I have time. And so there's nothing that I'm really missing in a big city. I absolutely love it here.
Okay. And what have you been able to accomplish there as a student? What's your major these days?
So I just finished my 4 years here. I graduated with my degree in business economics and graduated cum laude. And then yeah, thank you. And then I am now going on to my master's program. I'm doing adult organizational leadership and learning with the extra year of eligibility I have.
Sweet,
And
man.
yeah,
Cum laude, that's pretty good. So
uh,
nice to be able to be recognized as a guy who can deliver in the classroom. So I definitely think that's an awesome thing about you. Uh, cool, man. Let's talk some football. So really part of let's just face it, man, a really good offense, really one of the best offenses in the FCS. I mean, I was looking at your guys's standings last year, and it just seemed to be like you guys were putting up a whole bunch of points. And some of those games came down to the wire. Even though you were 7-5, I mean, you did very well on offense. So, talk about that offense and kind of explain it a little bit to me for um, you know, for somebody who's maybe not as familiar.
yeah, we are an offense that just has a ton of weapons right now. We have a completely reloaded offense with Jermaine Jackson and I and Vonnie. and Woods, who are four guys we had last year who played significant minutes, and we're all coming back, which is awesome. You know, the chemistry is there. We have a, a large group of great wide receivers. I'd consider us one of the best wide receiver corps in the FCS. With, you know, we have Michael Graves and Jordan Dwyer and Therese Trainer, who are just three guys who can itch where it scratches for the entire year, and you know, hopefully one of them can solidify and step up and take a role in the 11 personnel. And then our O line, we have like Aiden Knappich, who's coming back, who's just a freshman All American. You know, he's getting better every year. We have guys like Eli and Eli Sanchez, who's our center, and then we have guys like Charlie who are stepping up and filling big roles.
Mm.
Charlie Bloom. So we just have a lot of young talent. We have a lot of guys who are still who were played last year who are coming back, and just having that year under your belt is absolutely huge, and not losing a ton of people.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great guys coming back. You dropped the names of pretty much everybody in that wide receiving core, at least the starters, and I feel like each of you guys have a different skill set, and so obviously I want to focus on you. What do you feel is perhaps one of your best attributes as a player? What sets you apart?
I would say creating space from defenders and then going up and high pointing the ball. I really pride myself on my route running and being able to get open and identifying coverages, because that's half the battle. If you can look up and identify what coverage, it completely changes your route. You know, like every time you get cover two, a lot of the like 2x2 route schemes, if you're running anything, it turns into verts on one side to get, you know, a one on two ball with the safety. So you have to be able to identify coverages, and then, but yeah, creating space either at the top of my routes or at the line, and then going up and attacking the football, catching the ball.
So talking about some of those routes, what is one of those routes? Well, what is that one route when you hear your play called? I mean, you're in that huddle, or if you're not in a huddle, you know it's coming your way. Like, what is that one route that you love to run for your quarterback?
You know, either a go on the boundary, go to the boundary is fantastic. You know, it's pretty much isolated, and then I any double move. You know, right when I get a double move, I know like somebody's in trouble. You know, if I get a post corner or a hitch and go, out and up, any double move, or you know, that's just tough to stop, especially when you're eating them apart with hitches the entire game or something like that. You make them bite.
Well, obviously you made him bite a whole bunch last season. I mean, again, um, All-American last year, man. I mean, over 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns. Of course, first team All Big Sky. I mean, when you think about, all these accomplishments that you've done, man, I mean, which one are you most proud of?
I would say making the playoffs as a team. You know, this has been the first year I've seen the Vandals truly succeed, and it just, the entire community of Moscow is behind us now. We have a great leader. Like Coach Eck is just a great guy who knows how to publicize the program and get people behind us. And so yeah, I think, I mean, personally, I was named FCS ADA wide receiver of the year, and that was a fantastic honor. But you know, things like that can't happen without having a great coaching staff who knows what to call, and having guys like Bonnie who can get me the ball, and an O line who can protect.
And again, you made it to playoffs this year, or last year. What's it going to take to go back and maybe make a deeper run?
Yeah, I think looking at the people we have returning, we definitely expect to have another amazing season. And I say amazing with a grain of salt, another successful season.
Sure.
But I think a big thing for us is keeping that belief that, hey, we are a team that could win the Big Sky, you know, and making sure everybody's bought into the program, and if you're not, then it sounds brutal, but the door's right there. You know, with the transfer portal and everything nowadays, people bounce and leave everywhere, and so um, just getting the entire program to stay faithful and keep believing.
Great. I know once again last year was great. I mean, again, obviously the goal is to win more games, win the conference and all of that. But just kind of want to reflect a little bit more about what you have been able to accomplish. Like when you look at all your games, give me an example of like that one moment that's maybe one of your favorites, whether it be a game or even a specific play. Can you run through one of those for me?
Yeah, I would say the first half of the Eastern Washington game this past year. Scored 4 touchdowns in the first half of Eastern Washington, and tied the school record for receiving touchdowns in a half of football. That was pretty special. It seems like when you're there, I'm so in the zone, I'm so locked in that it just doesn't seem like anything could stop me. And I caught my first like 7 balls that came to me that game, and it's just like, this is what it's all about. It's this self-belief and this confidence that, anybody who lines up right now is going to be in trouble.
Great. So Hayden, obviously growing up there in Arizona, I kind of default in that maybe perhaps, I don't know, did you grow up a Larry Fitz fan? I mean, was
Oh, of
that like
course.
um
That's, my second grade project was about Larry Fitzgerald. You kidding me?
you said your second grade
Oh,
project?
my
What was
dad
that?
helped me, of course. It was like say a role model of somebody who you look up to. And so I came home. I'm like, Dad, I'm doing fits. Like I got 2 jerseys. Like, are you kidding me?
Well,
Love.
hey, it's fine. I mean, I kind of figured that was probably one of your favorites growing up. I mean, again, out in Arizona, who else better than to look up to? I mean, excellent player, excellent man, great citizen, does a whole lot of charitable work and things of that nature. So, yeah, certainly somebody to look up to. What about right now? I mean, is there a guy in the league that perhaps like I don't know, you're studying, you're trying to become not like him, but take bits of his game to add to yours. I mean, who are you studying?
For sure. I mean, that's something that Coach Linehan and I do all the time is we watch NFL players, because I mean, if that's what you want to be one day, you have to try to replicate it and see what they're doing. So
Sure.
guys like Devonte Adams and Justin Jefferson, both of them they play very different games but very similar games. Devonte Adams does a great job of releasing at the line, getting open, creating separation. You see it year in and year out. That guy just continues to produce numbers. And Justin Jefferson last year, his ball skills, his ball tracking skills, are absolutely next level. He knows how to jump up and grab the football, and that's something that I definitely feel like I can replicate in my game. Another guy, big sky guy like Cooper Kupp, you know, um, absolutely killed it. He's had a couple of injuries that have set him back a little bit, but he's a sharp route runner. He kills it in the box. He's willing to get dirty and take a hit by a linebacker or a safety for the first down. Yeah, guys like that, watch a lot of NFL tape.
Cool. I don't know how it feels to give a shout out to somebody who played for like a rival, but I mean certainly Cooper Cup. You got to respect him. You got to respect the greats, and he's definitely one of them. So, um,
100%.
I want to get a chance to step off the field and get to know this Hayden Hatten guy, to see if perhaps he has something else to share about himself. So, give me something about you that maybe perhaps not everybody knows, whether it be a hobby, personal interest, passion, or anything that you want to share. So, give me something.
Yeah, I'm a very competitive guy. I love to compete and play around, especially having a twin brother who I grew up with my whole life. Competition is natural for us, and so we golf a lot. That's one of my main hobbies. I love golfing. Just it clears my mind. I love going out and being off my phone for 4 hours and getting to really enjoy everything. And it gets competitive, but I'm a pretty good golfer. I shot 74 the other day at the University of Idaho course. Um, Play with Coach Noon, who's the head coach here for our golf team, quite a bit. And just yeah, I definitely golfer. I think my favorite thing about golf is that I'm truly competing against myself. In every sport I've ever played, it comes down to me beating somebody either off a dribble move or off the line, or even if I'm pitching or hitting in baseball, somebody has an influence on it. I love when I'm on the golf course that it truly, all the responsibility belongs to me. And and if I make it work out, it's up to me. I hold the fate.
I don't know if I'll ever be a good golfer, man. I just don't have the patience. And I think
Yeah.
you totally need that so that you can perfect your form. But enough of that. Let me kind of throw a couple other things your way. Maybe just like a short little question answer like session. So let me run through a few of these for you. Favorite breakfast cereal?
Oh, Honey Bunches of Oats, and that's only because Coach Heim has them every morning for workout. So I
Okay,
was completely grown on it.
nice. Are you a Pepsi, Coke, or other when it comes to soda, or are you drinking soda at all?
Me and my buddies are cheap, and we buy the deals. So right now we are on the RC Cola train.
RC
So
Cola.
I would say RC Cola, Royal Crown Cola, but normally Coke. I'm a Coke over Pepsi for sure.
Okay, okay. Definitely appreciate that one. Um, favorite type of food: Mexican, Italian, Chinese, or other?
Sushi, sushi for sure. I could eat a poke bowl or sushi rolls every day for the rest of my life, once a meal, and I would be satisfied.
All right. Uh, favorite movie?
Oh, that's tough because like there's so many genres.
Of
Um,
course.
yeah, I
These are
would.
the hard questions right here.
Yeah, seriously, I'm gonna say Blades of Glory. And if you haven't seen Blades of Glory, you got to go give it a watch. Blades of Glory is fantastic.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about there. Definitely the big comedy, right? That's with Will
Yeah,
Ferrell, ain't it?
yeah. Will Ferrell as Chaz Michael Michaels, the ice skaters.
No, I get you. So, is there a TV show that you recommend I binge watch?
Oh, yeah. I'm currently on the Game of Thrones train right now. I don't. My girlfriend and I are watching it. We're enjoying it. We're on season 4 now, so don't spoil anything if you know it.
I, I live a very secluded, only football kind of life. So I mean, there's only a couple things that I get into, quite honestly. So, um, again, a guy who grew up Phoenix, Scottsdale, there in Arizona. Tell me something about your hometown, and the reason why it's special for you.
I think it comes back to just family. I have my family there, my grandma's there, um, my parents. I have great parents who I'm very, very close to, and yeah, I just even if because now they bought a place out in California, Huntington, where they stay during the summer, so it's not too hot. So now I'm gonna go back there for my little break, but just as long as I'm with my family, I love my family, love getting to be with them, and love getting to see my parents.
Cool. Appreciate you getting a chance to just kind of let me know about you outside of a football player. Do want to reel it back and wind things up. So obviously you got one more season left to go. You're going to go out there and you're going to showcase why you belong in the NFL. So there's going to be some scouts watching you this year. So I want you to just kind of direct your attention to those guys and tell them why you need to be drafted, signed, and a part of their team. So go ahead and close this with your pitch.
Yeah, well, my pitch comes down to what I can do on Saturdays and now and what I'll be able to do on Sundays and I believe in myself. I'm a hard nosed guy who's not scared of the work and not scared to grind. And I've had a unorthodox path to success in college where I was, asked to be a tight end and I buckled down and I was willing to do it. And for the greater success of the team didn't matter. I just wanted an opportunity, and no matter who's willing to take a shot on me, fingers crossed I get that call. But if not, I'm going to still keep working and show people that I can do it. And I know that I've come this far for a reason, and that it's really go time. So I'm just excited for this season for either the scouts or you and my family and everybody to watch what I can do.
Awesome. Well, definitely something to look forward to. I mean, Hayden, I know you have a lot going for you. I mean, you're a guy who's a team leader. You're a smart guy who understands those coverages, knows how to get open. I mean, those things certainly matter for something. And then, of course, I know some scouts are going to fall in love with you. So I don't know which one, but I know one of them will. But before that happens, man, again, I do wish you all the best this upcoming season. Okay.
Thank you, Jimmy. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for having me on here. This is fantastic.
Sure, no problem. Hayden Hatten, wide receiver, Idaho. Check this guy out this season.
Thank you.